Marc Raimondi here for ESPN with prominent MMA manager Ali Abdelaziz, who one of his clients, Islam Makhachev, challenges for the UFC lightweight title Saturday, UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi. A lot of talk about Ali, including that fight with Islam. You have some other fighters on that card as well, including Belal Muhammad, who's in a top welterweight contender fight against Sean Brady. But want to start with Islam and Charles Oliveira. This is a fight that's
Beneil Dariush.
Forward to. And look, it's a great matchup, and it's I think a title shot for Islam is definitely long overdue. Oliveira is one of the toughest guys in the history of the lightweight division. Why is Islam's team and why are you guys so confident in that fight?
Brother, I know Islam for almost 10 years. I train with him in the gym. I see him spar with the best guys. Was the best striker. I see him grapple with the ADCC absolute champions. I never see this guy being taken down in the gym or being submitted in the gym by anybody.
Not even by Khabib?
No, not even by Khabib. I never see it. And I never see Khabib also get that by anybody, right? And reality is Charles is a great fighter. He's a risk taker. It's exciting. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. Can Islam win? Honestly, humbly, I respect Charles Oliveira. I respect his team. I think Islam is going to dominate him. I don't think it's going to be even a close fight. On paper, the only way is Charles Oliveira can win if he catch him with like a lucky punch. You understand? And I think Charles Oliveira, you don't change what got you here, right? Charles Oliveira, what got him here? He's reckless. He's spontaneous. He does off-the-wall stuff. Now he learned how to wrestle. And I think Marc was a great coach, striking was a great coach. And I think the biggest mistake they did, they brought a wrestling coach. And I think, you want to wrestle? Let's wrestle. And I think it's a mistake. As me, student of the game, I think you're already lost. Because you're ready, I have to defend wrestling. But you fight on your back, you can do triangle, but now he's focused on not getting taken down, right? And it's already you on the receiving end of defensive, right? And I'm gonna tell you something, he liked the clinch, he liked to be against the cage. When you fight Islam Makhachev, he's the best clinch fighter in UFC history. In the clinch, there's nobody like him. He used foot sweeps, inside sweeps, hip throws. We saw that. He's a different animal. But at the end of the day, I'm not taking anything from his camp or his coaches. But if I'm his coach, I will stick what got me here. I will stick with Macaco, striking coach. Islam didn't change nothing.
Right.
You know why? Because he thinking about what he's going to do to Oliveira. Oliveira is thinking about what Islam going to do to him. And this is what's a big difference in the fight.
So you said that Islam in practice has never gotten submitted, pretty much wins every single round. So that begs the question. I need to ask this question. When him and Khabib go against each other, how does that go in practice?
It's a stalemate. They've been training with each other since they're kids. It's a stalemate, Listen, Khabib is Khabib. Khabib is ferocious. He's pressure. He non-stop. He doesn't get tired. Islam is more a technician. Listen, I saw Islam in a gym in Vegas, I think a year and a half ago. He submitted a guy who's top 5 welterweight. I swear to God, to my children. I don't want to mention his name. And after that, I went to a middleweight guy who's ranked number 4, submitted him. And he went to other guy who's ranked number 5 at light heavyweight and submitted him. All back to back. You can figure out who they are, some of my guys, and I manage by me, right? And when I saw this, I was like, this is crazy, And in reality, it's not a submission grappling match. It's an MMA fight. Islam is better on the ground. Islam is a better wrestler. Islam is better on the clinch. Maybe I'll give Oliveira, maybe he have power. Islam have power too. But I think Islam the more rounded fighter. And I think, listen, everything can have now is about fight night, And inshallah, Islam is going to be the champion. I truly believe that. I don't think I'm gonna sit here and talk trash about Charles Oliveira. No, I'm just saying fact. You know, Charles Oliveira, he's been tapped, finished 8 times in the UFC. Submitted by Paris, he's not even in the UFC anymore. So, you know, submitted by Jim Miller, you know, submitted by like many other guys, right? But in a way, when the last time you see Islam is vulnerable on the ground? You know, he lost one time, got caught. Anybody can get caught. The way Islam lost, this is the only way Charles can beat him. But in reality, this odd maker should be, if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna put the house and the cars, some of the kids on Islam.
Not all of the kids, only some of the kids.
Some of the kids have to play it safe.
There was some controversy last week with who's going to be the backup fighter. Alexander Volkanovski came out and said, "Hey, I'm the backup fighter for this title fight, Islam versus Charles Oliveira." But Beneil Dariush, who's one of your clients, who's also on the card on Saturday against Mateusz Gamrot, a big lightweight fight, he believed he was the backup. So who's the backup?
We will see. We will see. If Charles Oliveira pull out, we will see who's going to back fight. Listen, the fight has happened. Listen, the UFC got to do what they got to do.
Yeah,
they have to put on a big fight. Of course, Alexander Volkanovski, it's a huge name. But in reality, the reason Beneil wanted to Abu Dhabi, if anything happened,
right,
to him to fill in. Right now, the most important is Beneil to fight Gamrot. It's a tough fighter. Beneil wins. Nobody on this planet can tell me Beneil is not getting a title shot. Remember, Beneil was scheduled to fight Oliveira.
Right.
Somehow Oliveira have some family problem. 2 weeks later, Oliveira got booked to fight Tony Ferguson, right? It is what it is. Beneil need to win this fight. He will win this fight. And he get a title shot. I don't care if it's Alexander, if anybody. You know, the king of Australia, King Kong, kangaroo. Beneil will win, will get a title shot. Because at the end of the day, like, listen, the UFC, I have a good relationship. I respect them, but I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight. I will do my fight behind closed door, and I will fight for Beneil to the death. Listen, Sean Shelby said this is #1 contender fight. You know, Dana might say something different. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, how are we gonna say no to him? But in reality, he have to beat Gamrot. You know, Islam have to beat Charles, and after that, we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
I guess the whole discussion about the backup fighter on Saturday, it is somewhat relevant, right? Because Oliveira missed weight in his last fight. He missed weight, and he got stripped of the lightweight title, and that's why this is not a title defense for him. This is why it's a vacant title. What happens on Friday if Oliveira misses weight? What does your team do? What does Islam and what do you guys do?
I think Beneil will step in and fight Oliveira. That's what I think. But at the end of the day, I don't control this.
Right.
You know, but listen, I respect Alexander Volkanovski too. How you the pound for pound king and you be a backup fighter. If also, you have to give him respect. You know, he put in everything on the line. You know, and he's a great guy too. I can't talk nothing about him. But he gotta do what's the good for him. We have to do what's the best for him. At the end of the day, and I think everybody's gonna make weight. And let's stay positive. I think this is one of the best cards of the year. I think if you like fighting and you don't buy this pay-per-view, something's wrong with you, or you know, some people steal it. But it's a great fight card, man, from top to bottom. You have Khabib coming, who's an army. Now Muhammad Belal fighting Sharp Brady, very tough fighter. You know, great coaches. But now Khabib adopted Belal. He's gonna be in his corner. He trained him, he pushed him. Belal said, I felt like I never trained MMA before. You know, and I'm telling you, he's been there for almost a month and a half and make a difference, make big difference.
I want to ask you about Belal, but just want to wrap up the main event conversation for a second. So you feel good if Islam wins, if Beneil Dariush wins, you're confident that is the next lightweight title fight in the future.
Brother, if they don't give me this title fight, I'm gonna call the police on them. I'm gonna call the cops on the UFC. What do you mean? Of course they have to give him title shot. Listen, I understand it's a business, and a lot of time, if his Conor is winning, I said, hey, Conor, you have to get a title shot. Okay, I understand because It's too much money for me to tell the UFC. I know. But who? Who's going to step up? Alexander Volkanovski doesn't sell pay-per-view, you know? But what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Beneil Dariush is the rightful opponent. And he's taking a guy, not even in the top 5 behind him. 90% of fighters, they're not 5 behind. And you know that. And you have to give respect when respect due. And you have to put some respect on Beneil. Listen, they're not Sean, Hunter, these guys, they're not animals, they're not savages, they're human too. And I know them more than others. They always do the right things. Most of the time, they do the right things. But when money involved, it's business. And I get it. But I don't see anybody significant, a big star. Like I don't know how Mike Chandler in the top 5. I don't understand this. This guy's like, he's almost 50 years old. You know,
he's not almost 50.
He looks good for his age. He aged well. Talking about if I get title shot, I'm got title shot. What? What are you talking about? You think if he win and Islam win, Islam gonna fight him? He's like, and I'm not trying to give him. I don't got no beef with him, but he's like talking like, you're 2-2 in your last fight. He was knocked out by a guy who was 145 pound Bellator champion. We got you in. Okay, keep winning. You have to fight the Arman Saruki. You have to fight the Gamrat. You have to, and if you think you're the best in the world, that's who you need to be. This guy, this up and coming killers. It's a lot of killers coming up. But listen, you have to deserve things. You can't just say you're not Conor McGregor. You're not. And as much as his piece he is, but he's still pay-per-view. And if he's winning, I cannot tell no to him to fight above my guys because I understand, But this guy, he was losing in Bellator. Think he come here, he become a star? He's not a star. He's just a regular guy. He cannot hold a pay-per-view on his own. Can he though? He cannot. But I'm being real. Wish him the best of luck, him and his family. But hey, sit your ass down somewhere and stop talking about your superior. That's it.
Last thing on that, Ali. And I gotta ask this. I know what the answer is going to be most likely, but let's say in some world, Charles Oliveira wins on Saturday. Is there any possibility, any chance Khabib comes back to try to take the lightweight title? Any chance?
In a way, you guys need to leave Khabib alone. You need to, because Khabib
is asking.
And honestly, it's so disrespectful. And I love Bisbee. He's my guy. But it's so disrespectful. You guys even put the guys even in the same conversation. You understand?
Talking about Oliveira and Khabib.
You cannot. How are you gonna put these guys? These guys cannot they cannot sit in the same room. You understand? They cannot sit. Not even in the same conversation. Charles Oliveira is a nice kid, but you got smashed 8 times in the UFC by guys not even in the UFC anymore. How are you gonna put Khabib? Never have a black eye in a fight. Never tap, never have a black eye. Khabib used to get black eye in training. Nobody ever touched him. No, he haven't not been touched. And this guy been smashed by guys, Cap Swanson, 135 pounder, Frankie Edgar, 135 pounder. How are we gonna compare him to arguably the greatest of all the time? In the way, give him his flower. Let Charles Oliveira enjoy it. But don't even put these two in the same. If you put John Jones and Khabib in the same conversation, I understand. It's all good. Charles Oliveira. You cannot lose 8 times and get finished 8 times. And he said, "Oh, am I good?" The good, brother. You're the good in a zoo, not in MMA. But it's no disrespect to him. But hey, this good talk and compare talk, brother. Listen to me. I'll tell you something. Khabib is built to eat guys like Charles Oliveira. Eat, not beat, eat. You understand? That's it. Why you guys want to get people hurt? Why people want to get Charles Oliveira hurt fighting Khabib? You have to deal with Islam. This is the Islam Makhachev show.
Let me ask you about another fighter who Khabib will be in his corner. That's Belal Muhammad, of course, against Sean Brady. Really big fight. Belal wins. Is he the number 1 contender, do you think? I know that, one of your clients is also Kamaru Usman, and he's probably I mean, he should and he deserves to get an instant rematch against Leon Edwards. But where does this put Belal if he beats Brady on Saturday?
Brother, listen, if you look at Belal, I think, has an 8-fight winning streak outside the Leon book. You understand?
Unbeaten streak, yep.
He fought everybody, anybody, anywhere, everywhere. You understand? Listen, you have Kobe, you have Khamzat there, you have Belal there. You know, doesn't matter. Most important is to win fight on Saturday. And of course, I thought he deserved title shot already, but now, now Kamaru's giving Leon Edwards a title shot. Listen to me when I tell you this. Leon Edwards is not giving Kamaru a title shot. Kamaru is giving Leon Edwards a title shot. And I like Leon. I like his whole team. I like his family. But realistically, Leon Edwards is not the A side. Kamaru called Dana on Sunday. Said, I want to fight him in London. Dana said, done. Yeah. But he now saying, oh, this is only on my turf. Hey, we make the decision for you. Please relax, chill, enjoy, champ. You earned this. And it can honestly, can you imagine lose to Kobe or Masvidal? Oh my God. You cannot lose to a better guy, to be honest with you. But hey, champ, relax, enjoy. Get the sponsor, get all this money. Because in March, this will change. The king will be back.
Is that when this will be? Do you think it'll
Brother, this is what London's supposed to be. But at the end of the day, it can be lunch, it can be London, Africa, New Zealand, Europe, it doesn't matter. Kamaru gonna smash this guy. You understand? You get a kick once every 100 years, and he got his kick. Congratulations, we'll move on. But everybody know what happened in this fight. Let's be real.
There's no chance that it could happen as early as December, right? Because I know the UFC still doesn't have a main event 100% for that fight card yet.
This fight will happen beginning of next year. The UFC will give us the date. Kamaru's training. I'm sure Leon is training, and they will fight again. And we understand who's who after this fight.
And Kamaru is good with London. He wants London.
Brother, he asked, I swear, everything to everything Allah. He asked then, I want to fight this guy in London. You know why? Because in London, it's going to be Jamaican versus African. It's a lot more African than Jamaican in London. And you understand? I think Kamaru will have a lot more fans than Leon. But at the end of the day, this is the two best guys in the world. They're going to fight each other. And it's a classic. It's one-on-one, going to a third one. It's a tiebreaker. And we'll see what happens.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.